Did you know? Did you know?
Peace and love, family. So if you are watching this video, that means that you have a basic understanding of who the ancestors are. You created your family tree. You understand the benefits of working with the ancestors. You've created your sacred space. You've gathered all of the materials. You've made your sacred space and you're ready to go. So now we are going to jump into the juicy stuff. This video module is all about initiating contact with the ancestors. We are going to learn how to do a ritual of healing and protection while communicating with our ancestors. So some materials that we are going to need, just the orange vigil candle. We're going to need those herbs, the cinnamon, bay leaf, and cedar. And we're going to need our petition paper, of course, a pen, and being at our sacred space. So why orange? There are so many colors. Why are we going to use the color orange? The orange is all about communication. It's all about attracting to us what we want, whether that be success, more creativity. It's the color of friendships and things of that nature. So the color orange is necessary to symbolize that level of communication and attraction of bringing the ancestors into our space. The herbs of cinnamon, bay leaf, and cedar are all about healing and protection. So, of course, these herbs, you could probably find them in your kitchen. I'm from a Jamaican background, so I use these herbs. The cinnamon, I use it to boil my porridge, and the bay leaf, I'll put it if I'm seasoning up some stew or something of that nature. So get these herbs, crush them. We want them crushed. Okay, and we're going to set that aside and use it in our ritual. Okay, the brown paper sack is what we're going to use to write our petition on. Okay. When confronting and communicating with the ancestors, I don't want you to feel like you have to go, oh, ancestors, I need you. It's not like that. Your ancestors are your friends. They're your ride or dies. You're obviously going to approach them with reverence. You know what I mean? But understand it's more of a partnership. It's more of a friendship. You are not in any sort of subordinate, inferior position to them. You're not bowing down to them. You are sitting at your altar. I have like a nice big fat cushion that I sit on in front of my altar, and you're just going to speak to your ancestors as you would your best friend. Remember, the ancestors understand our plight, okay? We have ancestors that couldn't pay their rent. We have ancestors that had men and women that broke our heart, that went through divorces, that, got eviction notices, that, got into car accidents, that maybe lost a child, that whatever it may be. So we have to understand that the ancestors have been there, done that, so they can impart their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on things that we are going through right now. Why? Because they've been there already. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, let me just kind of give you the steps, okay? Oh, and another thing that we need is offerings. So before we do this ritual, make sure that you have something, whether it be your ancestor money. For the first ritual, I would highly recommend having a plate of food. If you're not able to do that, definitely get the ancestor money. We're just going to burn one piece. We don't need to burn, 5, 6 pieces of ancestor money at one time. We don't want to set off the alarms, okay? And get your water. Make sure you have your flame, all the components that we spoke about in the last video. Make sure that you have that before you begin your ritual. I always like to take a clearing bath first, just to kind of clear my energy, clear my mind, get me into the right headspace. So if you're able to do that, I would highly recommend doing something simple, getting some basil leaves, steeping those basil leaves in a big pot for about a half an hour, running your bath water, and pouring the basil leaves in your bath water. And the basil leaves actually carries a magical energy of clearing and protecting the aura. So the basil leaves are just going to help clear any, negative thought forms, any hesitation that you may have going into this ritual if you've never ritualed before. While you're in the bath, light a candle, close your eyes, meditate. Think about what it is that you want to speak to your ancestors about. Think about what it is that you need to heal. Think about what it is in your life that you want to be protected, whether it be protection of yourself, protection of your children, protection of your money, your home, your car, or all of it. Just kind of set your intention while you're in the bath and be excited. This is nothing to be nervous about or, on edge about. You're basically undertaking one of the greatest things you could ever do for yourself, your children, and your lineage. The ancestors have spoken to you, which is why you were attracted to this program in the first place. There's something within you that's calling, that's making you attracted to wanting to know more about your ancestors, wanting to know how to communicate with them. So this is it. You can communicate with your ancestors anywhere. You can, I could be sitting right here because, again, you are your ancestors. I could sit right here and I can talk to my ancestors. But having a more, formal way of doing it shows your commitment and gives the ancestors a place where they could actually come and, again, fuel up like we spoke about before. And also be in your life on a consistent basis, looking out for you on a consistent basis. So let us go through the steps, step by step, of exactly what we're going to do during this ritual. The first thing we need to do is write the petition. The petition is basically equivalent to you writing a mailing address on an envelope. You need to give the candle a place to go. You need to tell it what to do. So the petition is basically you writing out and saying what you want it to do. So for example, it could say, I am so happy that, I am divinely protected at all times. I'm so happy that the ancestors are, my ascended ancestors are in my life protecting me and my children. I'm so grateful that, I am in the process of healing not only myself, but my lineage. The key to writing a petition is that you're going to use present tense. You're not going to say, I want to be protected, I hope to be protected. You're going to write as if you already are, because in essence, you are. So in doing that, you're drawing that energy of protection and healing closer to you, okay? And you're letting the ancestors know this is what the ritual is about. So you're going to get that petition that you wrote down on the brown paper sack. You're going to fold it up into a square and you're going to place it on your altar, okay? With this candle, the 7-day orange candle, you want to ensure that if there's any barcodes or any stickers or anything that's on it that's not a part of the candle, that you take that off. Sometimes I have to even get a blow dryer and put that on the candle just to get some stickers off sometimes. So if that's what you have to do, then do that. If you have Florida water, this is not necessary, but if you do have Florida water, just take some in your hand, rub it up, and just rub the candle. That's really just clearing the energy of the candle itself. But again, if you don't have Florida water, please do not worry about it. You can get sage, Palo Santo, and just kind of let that, put it around in circles around the candle, just to kind of clear the energy of the candle. And if you don't have that, then it's okay. You could still move forward with the ritual. Okay. So you get that 7-day orange vigil candle. You put it on top of the petition. So once you put that petition on the candle on the petition, you're not going to see the petition anymore because the bottom of the candle will be covering it. Okay. Then you want to get your herbs, these powdered herbs that I asked you to grind down. I usually put mine in a coffee grinder. You could put it in a blender. You could use a mortar, whatever you have to do to get those, to break down those herbs, do that, okay? If you're able to get it in the powder form, what you want to do is just sprinkle the herbs around the candle, okay? At the base of the candle. Another thing that you can do along with that is take a little bit of those powder herbs and actually put it inside of the candle itself, okay? You could do either or you can do both, all right? After we're done that now, we're gonna light that candle, okay? And lighting that candle is going to open up the portal between you and your ancestors. All right, we lit our incense, we have our tea lights going, and now we're ready to invite the ancestors to take up space in our sacred space and to take part in this ritual. So this invocation is basically you calling them into your life, taking part in this ritual for healing and protection. So after you've finished your invocation, what we're going to do is put down our offerings, okay? Whether it be food or whether it be ancestral money, we'll burn that ancestral money, just burn one piece, okay? And then we're going to commune with them mentally and really get our feelings involved in what we're doing. And we're going to do this through visualization. So this is what I usually do when I'm working with my ancestors. I'll close my eyes and I'll visualize all of my ancestors surrounding me, okay? They're sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor, however I want to envision them, and they're surrounding me, ready to help me, ready to protect me, okay? And what I do is that I visualize a white light coming from my crown chakra and going to every corner, every part, and just spreading out to the crown chakras of my ancestors. So what I'm doing is that I'm giving them energy, okay? I'm giving my ancestors energy. And you could do this from your crown chakra, or you can do this from your heart space. Green light coming from your heart space. And what I'm seeing is as I'm giving my ancestors these energies, I'm seeing them grow. I'm seeing them get bigger. I'm seeing them coming up and kind of overshadowing me, protecting me, and I'll sit with that. I'll continue to give them energy until I feel like I have done enough. And then I sit down and I wait for messages. You might get a dream. Your ancestors may come and visit you in a dream, okay? You might see some sort of synchronicity, so pay attention. You may see, look at the clock and see that it's 3:33 or, 5:55. Go to your computer and look up and see what those numbers mean. You could do divination afterwards. You can grab your tarot cards or your oracle cards and ask the ancestors to speak to you through these cards. You may close your eyes after giving them energy and you start to see images in your mind. You start to hear whispers in your ear, or you'll have this thought and you don't know where this thought came from. That is your ancestors. They communicate with us in so many different ways. For me, sometimes it's just a feeling. When I get up from my altar, I just feel so loved, and I just feel so comforted. Some people may get chills. Some people may feel an energy in the room with them, a presence there, okay? So pay close attention to how you receive messages, because everybody is different. Nobody receives messages the same way. But pay close attention and don't be or feel discouraged if you feel like you haven't received any messages from your ancestors, or you're not able to tap in the way that you want. Continue to make your daily offerings. Continue to fuel your ancestors, lighting a tea light, or even getting a white visual candle if you're not able to go to your altar every day. Although I do highly, highly recommend, even if it's just for 2 minutes, to greet your ancestors, light the candle, burn the ancestor money, and just let them know that you are here and you're willing to work with them. So once you've done the ritual, sit with it. Once you've done your visualization, sit for as long as you can. I usually like to sit for at least 30 minutes to an hour. If you're getting a little, your mind is kind of going places, you can go on my website and download the primal invocation, which is an ancestral invocation that can be used as an offering. Okay, and that can also be used to invoke the presence of the ancestors. So sometimes when, I go down to my altar and, I'm throwing away old tea lights and getting the incense ready, I'll just kind of play the invocation and have it playing in the background until I'm ready to sit down and do my ritual, or just to sit down and talk to the ancestors, because sometimes it's not always about doing a big lavish ritual with, visual candles and herbs. Sometimes it's a matter of just giving your energy and your sincerity and your heart into the whole act of venerating the ancestors. One thing that I do consistently is lighting my tea lights and burning my incense, okay? That's something that I do every single day. If I'm not doing an actual ritual, I'll light my tea lights, burn my incense, say my prayers, okay? So after you're done your visualization and you feel like you're ready to get up, then just leave with a prayer. If you want to play the Anabekawak again, that's another free download. You can do that. I highly, highly recommend that you learn that prayer. It is a prayer of healing and protection as well. It took me maybe 2 months to learn the prayer because it is in a different language, but so worth it, because the 42 letter names of God, it actually imprints itself on your soul. So it's a very, very powerful prayer for this life and even into your next life as you transition. Or you can just say, show your gratitude. Thank you, ancestors, for coming forth and taking part in this ritual. I look forward to working with you, to feeling your energy. I look forward to, receiving your divine guidance in my life. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for protecting my children. Thank you for everything and all that you have added on to me. And I feel so honored to be the one that is going to light the torch and change the direction of our lineage. I'm going to heal generational patterns. I'm going to heal this bloodline. And with your help, and your divine guidance, so mote it be. Whatever comes to mind, that's just something that came to my mind. Whatever comes to mind to kind of close off the ritual, even if it's just gratitude and, put your hands together, gratitude, and you get up. Again, it's all about following your intuition, doing what feels right for you, okay? So gather your materials, all right? Get your petition going, gather your herbs. You could even bring stones if you're into crystals. You can get citrine in there as well. Any protective stones, whether it be onyx, black tourmaline, and things of that nature, just to kind of bring more energy. Clear quartz, to bring more energy to the ritual. And, happy ritualing. I look forward to hearing your comments. If you have any questions about this ritual, feel free to post a question in the group, and I will be more than happy to answer.
Did you know? Did you know? Did you know?